The docking bay of Station Cathrali. 9 smelled of ozone and 100 alien biochemistries, and for one long moment after the shuttle hissed open, nothing moved at all. Lily stepped out first, duffel slung over one shoulder, humming some half-remembered tune from a world 4 jumps away. Behind her, John followed at a slower pace, scanning the crowd out of old habit, a habit that had kept him alive through 2 border conflicts and 1 very bad diplomatic posting. He noticed the silence before she did. A pair of wreck mercenaries, reptilian, armored, each one easily 2.5 meters of muscle and instinct, had been arguing over cargo rights near the far wall. They stopped mid-sentence. Not slowly. Instantly, the way a rabbit stops when a shadow crosses the grass. Their slit pupils tracked Lily's small, unremarkable human frame across the bay, and then, without a word to each other, both of them turned and walked briskly in the opposite direction. "That's new," John muttered. Lily hadn't noticed. She rarely did. She was busy admiring a stall selling what looked like glowing fruit. John had served with 3 different multi-species task forces before he ever set foot on Cathrali. 9, and in all that time, he'd learned one universal truth. Predator species carried themselves like predators. Shoulders loose, eyes forward, a kind of unhurried confidence that said I have never once needed to look behind me. Prey species were different. They walked like the world owed them a debt of violence it hadn't collected yet. Eyes everywhere, weight on the balls of their feet. What he was seeing now didn't fit either pattern. The Vrek had reacted like prey. But near the market's edge, a small clan of Ashenvale, a herbivorous, deeply nervous species that startled at loud footsteps, had gone very still and very calm the moment Lily wandered past their stall. One of the younglings had actually taken a step toward her, tendril fingers reaching, before its guardian gently pulled it back, not in fear, but in the particular reverence of someone stepping back from something holy. "Lily," John said carefully, "have you noticed anyone acting strange around you?" Strange how? She was examining a piece of fruit that pulsed faintly with bioluminescent light. "Predators avoiding you. Prey species not." She shrugged. "People are always weird about me. I figured it was a human thing." It was not, John was fairly sure, a human thing. The truth of it announced itself properly 3 hours later, in the station's central concourse, when a Threxian slave trader made the singular mistake of his life. Threxians were apex predators back on their homeworld, 6-limbed, chitin-plated things bred by evolution to hunt in packs and never, ever fear anything smaller than themselves. This one, flanked by 2 bodyguards, had eyed Lily's unassuming frame and decided, incorrectly, that a lone, unarmed-looking human woman represented an opportunity. He stepped into her path, said something in Threxian trade tongue that the concourse translators rendered, roughly, as "You. Small one. You will come with us." John's hand moved toward the sidearm he wasn't technically supposed to be carrying. He needn't have bothered. Lily looked up at the Threxian, easily twice her height, mandibles clicking with predatory anticipation, and simply looked at him. No words, no threat, just a long, level, unblinking stare that seemed to reach past his chitin and into whatever passed for a Threxian soul. The bodyguards broke first. Both of them, simultaneously, took 2 full steps backward, subvocal distress clicks escaping despite themselves. The trader held for another 1.5 seconds. A genuinely impressive display of nerve, John thought later, before something in that ancient predator brain, some circuit forged over 100 million years of hunting and being hunted, finally screamed at him that he had grievously, catastrophically misjudged his position in the food chain. He turned and left. Did not run. Did not walk. Existed, briefly, in the liminal space between the two, moving at a pace that suggested his legs had made an executive decision his pride had not yet agreed to. The concourse, which had gone utterly silent, slowly resumed its noise. "Huh," Lily said, unbothered. Rude. It was the station's resident cognosc analyst, an ancient, many-eyed being that had spent 3 centuries studying interspecies threat perception for the Cathrali Compact, who finally explained it to John over a drink he couldn't safely identify. "Your species," the analyst said, voice a dry rustle of chitin-on-chitin translated through a neck-mounted device, "is anomalous. Do you understand this?" "I've heard it a few times," John admitted. Every apex predator species in known space signals dominance the same way. Posture, eye contact duration, pheromonal output under stress. It is a language, human John, older than language itself. Every hunter reads it in every other hunter, across every biology, because it evolved for the same reason everywhere, to avoid unnecessary fights between things that could kill each other. And Lily doesn't signal that. Lily, the analyst said, signals nothing. No fear pheromones under threat, no submission posture, no dominance display, because she has never needed one. Dominance displays exist to prevent fights you might lose. Her biochemistry does not register the concept of a fight she might lose. To every predator instinct in this station, she reads as something that has never once, in the entire history of her species, needed to posture at anything smaller than herself. John thought about that. About the wars he'd seen humans wage, not against alien monsters, but against other humans, out of stubbornness and ambition and things far pettier than survival. About ancestors who'd walked out of trees and across ice ages and through every apex predator on Earth to become, eventually, unremarkable. She's not the strongest thing they've ever seen, he said slowly. No, the analyst agreed. She is worse. She is unbothered. To a predator, strength can be measured and matched and eventually overcome. Indifference cannot. Your Lily does not read as an apex predator to them, human John. Then what is she read as? The many eyes turned to him, and for the first time, something like genuine unease crossed that ancient, alien face. She reads as something that stopped being prey so long ago it forgot the fear was ever necessary. Every predator on this station is not avoiding a threat, human John. They are avoiding a memory, one their instincts insist they should have, and do not. That night, Lily fell asleep easily, the way she always did, untroubled by the day's events, while 3 decks below, a wreck mercenary told his crew a story about a small human woman that grew, with every retelling, considerably taller. By morning, half the station believed she was some kind of ascended hunter goddess. John didn't correct them. Some legends, he figured, humanity had earned the hard way, one apex predator's flinch at a time.